Hey YouTube, how you doing? Kevin here. Alright, so basically what I wanted to do, this is a part 2 to that video I just did on the carburetor. Okay, so I used my it's a right angle. You can use any drill you want. You can use a cordless if you're good with it. I prefer air tools because it doesn't have that shock factor to it. I can just grab it smooth and I can just go around with it. So I have my Astro bits. I'll show you what they are. These are Astro Pneumatic Tool Company. Very good quality. These are double carbide bits. Okay, like a burst set. Some of these are extra, like these top ones don't go to the set. But basically, that big one goes right here. And you have all different types of bits that you can use. Okay, it's about $100. And it really works well. These things last a long time. They're very strong. And they're good for cutting through metals and aluminums and steel and whatever else you got to cut through with them. They're carbide. They work really, really well. And as always, and I can't stress this enough, wear safety glasses. Okay? You can use a nice Dremel. This is my Dremel moto tool right here. I did not use this one, but you can do that if you're good with the modeling and stuff like that. You can clean this up and go right in there. Okay, and then the other thing I used to clean it up was 320 grit sandpaper. This is wet dry sandpaper. I didn't wet it. I just used it the way it was. You can see my fingers are all from being in like that, and buffing really is what you're doing. It's all over my hands. You can see how my hands are all gray. I look like a dead man. Anyway, so what I did was I took, this is the intake seal. Okay, this is the part that goes on, slides on the intake on the KE100, and then you can see the wall right there, that where this flat side butts up against. Okay, you can actually see this seal is pretty well hammered. It will not be used again. But anyway, it fits in there, and you can see how I opened it up. There's a very slight margin, and if you look at your factory one, there's a bigger margin. So I opened it up quite a bit. I took a lot of metal off there. You can see how big the slide is now, you know. Look at how big that is. Huge! That thing is going to suck in some serious air. Then I did the same thing to the front. I cleaned up the air horn. This is the air horn right here. I made sure it was smooth. I grind it all the way out. And then watch, ready? Look at the air. Look at the flow. Now it's the same diameter as the intake. You can't put any more air through this carburetor. Then the next thing to do is to jet it. But I'm not going to be able to do that until I get it on the bike. So I'm going to ultrasonic clean this tonight. I just wanted to do a quick video showing you how I have the I got the top nut off, but you can see how nice and easy it slides. Oh, I locked it in there. There's a groove. Got to fit on the pin. There we go. You know, so when you do want to make sure that you clean up your I took some of the sandpaper and I put it in here and went this way with it as well, and took off any chamfer up on the top part there, and same on the back side. But you can see just from looking at this thing how nice and easy. Look at it, just drops right in, and I opened it up. So now I can get a lot more airflow through the factory carburetor. So now I can take this carburetor off the piece of junk list because it's no longer junk. I can get significant airflow through it as to where it was before. I tried every carburetor I could think of, and I couldn't find one that was accurate enough to work on this bike. And so you know what? I'm going to stay with the factory. I'm just going to modify the hell out of it. And this carburetor here has got the idle mixture screw underneath this cap right here, the Welch plug. This is for a newer KE100. Other than that, you see where that little round circle is. The little it might be a plug there, and there'd be a jet there. But this is the newest, the last version of this carburetor for that bike. So I figured I'd go and use that one. It's a great carburetor if you keep it by factory. It works great. However, this motor is not factory, so we modified the heck out of it So with the exhaust system and the boring it out 20 over and the high compression head, we need to put some air to this thing. So that's what I'm doing right now. So make sure there's no burrs and how smooth it is up in there. You know, I got some scratches, but nothing that's dramatic. I can buff them out with the sandpaper. And basically all you do is just slide that out. Take the sandpaper. I went around my finger with it, trying to get it in tight, or however you want to get it. You know, I went with the cone style. Get to where it's comfortable, and then basically you just go like this. And every time you do that, you're buffing more and more and out. So look how shiny that is. It's almost chrome. Because you want a nice smooth air horn when you're doing this. So I was gonna show you with the big tool, but you really couldn't see nothing because it was way too fast, you know. So, but that's pretty much it. You just buff it as shiny as you can get it, as smooth as you can get it. Make sure there's no burrs, no metal flakes. Clean the carburetor, spray it down, wash it out with soap and water if you have to. Whatever you got to do, just make sure you get it nice and clean. And that's pretty much it for the modification. I mean, look how far I can put my finger in now. I got my finger. Look, it's almost off the other side. So we got some airflow, some significant airflow through this carburetor. So and it's polished, so it's gonna be smooth. I mean, that's like glass. That is literally like glass. I mean, I got my middle finger. I mean, I got some like flow. So the back part is also matched, and you know, like I said, really the more you work on it, the better it will be. It's not like you're gonna hurt it, you know. And this modification can be done to the KD, the KM, KH, KC, the MC1 90s, the MC1 100s, all those bikes this can be done to. This is just a really good modification. And it's nice and smooth in there. See down the throat how nice and smooth it is. Make sure all your openings, you're going to have to take the carburetor back apart. Make sure you clean the carburetor again before you put this on. You don't want any metal flakes that might have gotten into one of the ports coming out and into your engine. That's not good. That can ruin your engine. So make sure you clean it thoroughly. I can't stress that enough. Clean it, soak it, whatever you got to do. Make sure there's no metal in it. Make sure there's no burrs in it. Make sure there's no metal chips or flakes or whatever else could possibly be in there. You know, just open it up. Use the your template. You know, put that on there. Open it up, because this diameter right here is the diameter of your intake. So there's no modification to do this. This is matched. So you want to match that hole, the inner hole, with the inner hole in here, and make sure you get the same diameter. And I took a lot off, so it's matched. So I got it like right there. This is a very fine margin. I could take a little bit more off if I wanted to, but I don't see the need to. I got so much out of it right now. It's opened up so much. I mean, look at how open that is. There's a nice big air horn. You can go up if you want to mill up a little bit more. You can mill up a little bit, but really that's all you're going to get through it. So I just figured I'd show you that. Don't have to go berserk on it, but I mean, when that opens up all the way, you know, when you hit that full throttle, That's what you're basically looking at. So, well, anyway, this is part 2 of that video. I just wanted to show you how I did it, what I did, and go from there. So, you can get more airflow through these carburetors with a little bit of modification. Typically, I think these carburetors are absolutely trash. However, because I can't find a better carburetor to use on the bike, now I have no choice but to modify this one to do what I want those other bigger carburetors to do. Pretty neat idea though, huh? And that'll work just fine. Maximum airflow, rejet it. This is going to be a little powerhouse. Like I said, it's not a very big bike, so this should be pretty easy to do. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This is part 2 on that carburetor video, the carburetor modification video. And I hope this helps you guys with your projects. Remember, take your time, wash it thoroughly. If you're using power tools, wear safety glasses. Because if your vision is gone because you got a metal flake in it, you can't ride the bike. Where's the fun in that? Not to mention the pain. So, the modification was done using sandpaper and that little grinder right there from Astro, and I was able to open it up. I took a lot of metal off of it to get to that point, and I mean I personally can physically see the airflow difference. I mean you can definitely see it. That hole is the diameter of the intake. You can't put no more through it. So, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.